Good morning and welcome to the St. Johns County School District's Instructional Materials Adoption Meeting. Today, our adoption committee will determine the resources that will be recommended to the school board for adoption for HOPE. Our adoption teams have been led by amazing teams of administrators at their school sites and supported by our incredible district curriculum specialists. Additional support and guidance has been provided by the Instructional Resources and Media Services team of instructional materials, instructional media, and applied technology specialists. Thanks to everyone who made this day possible. I will now turn the meeting over to Ms. Crowder to share data and information regarding this adoption. Ms. Crowder?
Good morning.
No, it didn't have it on PowerPoint yet. Click from beginning again.
There we go.
And is your sound on?
Yes, can everybody hear me?
Yes, you sound great.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here for our HOPE Textbook Adoption Consensus meeting. I'm Joanne Crowder, the Curriculum Program Specialist for Physical Education. We're here today to review each school committee's rankings after reviewing the selected state-approved textbooks for HOPE, Health Opportunities Through Physical Education. I'd like to thank our school committee members and ERMs. Each school developed teams of administrators, teachers, families, and community members to ensure that our district chooses the textbook that best meets the needs of our students. The high school, our purpose here today is to discuss the results of the school level reviews and rankings and to finalize the district committee vote on instructional resources to be submitted to the school board for adoption. St. Johns County School District teachers, families, and community members reviewed 2 instructional resources, and they're in alphabetical order. The first one is Florida Health Skills for High School Opportunities Through Physical Education, published by Goodhart Wilcox. And our second choice was Florida Health Opportunities Through Physical Education, HOPE, published by Human Kinetics. The community members and school committees had the opportunity to review the resources and provide open-ended feedback through critical analysis using the rubric. The areas of strength based on stakeholder feedback in EdCredible from Goodhart Wilcox, they have Schoology integration capability, differentiated instructional materials, and the content is comprehensive and current. With Human Kinetics, there are engaging activities, vibrant diagrams and charts, and downloadable resources. The open-ended feedback from the focused review also included statements that emphasized areas of need in each of the resources. With Goodhart Wilcox, we felt that they could increase methods of student engagement, and Human Kinetics was lacking in differentiation and has a challenging lexile level. We appreciate all of the feedback that you gave. It was very detailed. A rubric was used by our stakeholders to guide the critical analysis of each resource using 5 main categories: content, presentation, learning and assessment, organization and presentation, and mandatory instruction. Our first category is content. The rubric has 18 subcategories, determining that the content of each textbook is standards-based, grade level appropriate, research-based, engaging, and unbiased. In this area, Goodhart Wilcox earned 395 points, and Human Kinetics earned 310 points. The next category is presentation. The 6 subcategories include technology integration, media, and presentation materials that include navigation, study tools, and assistive supports that aid students, including those with disabilities. Goodhart Wilcox earned 132 points and Human Kinetics 95. The third category is learning and assessment. The 6 subcategories include looking for easily implemented and varied assessments with scoring rubrics that provide ongoing feedback to students at regular intervals. Goodhart Wilcox earned 129 points, Human Kinetic 102. The fourth category is organization and presentation. The 6 subcategories ensure that materials are engaging and logically organized. Goodhart Wilcox earned 129 points, and Human Kinetics earned 102. The final category is mandatory instruction. The 5 subcategories ensure that state mandatory instruction in health, resiliency, and substance use and abuse are covered. Goodhart Wilcox earned 108 points, and Human Kinetics earned 86. The total overall scores for each resource: Goodhart Wilcox earned 893 points, and Human Kinetics earned 695. 8 of our 9 schools chose Goodhart Wilcox as our resource for HOPE based on anecdotal data from the rubrics as well as school team consensus. So we have 8 of 9 schools who chose Goodhart Wilcox, and 1 school chose Human Kinetics. Do we have any questions?
I don't see any hands raised, and I don't see any comments in the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Crowder. Excellent review. Before we move forward with voting, I'd like to open the floor for any discussion regarding the materials from our committee members. Please raise your hand if you'd like to comment on a specific resource, or if you have any questions for the group, not just Ms. Crowder. No questions or comments, so thanks so much. I think these points of contact are confident in their selection. So now let's begin the vote. Ms. Burball, please launch the poll.
We currently have 9 votes in.
Okay, we are still awaiting one vote. We do have one vote, one committee member from our community who has determined that they will abstain from voting, but we do need the 10th vote. If you're having trouble voting, if you will raise your hand to let us know so that we can assist you with voting if you need that. So if you haven't voted, we have one person who hasn't voted. If you will raise your hand or unmute so that we can assist you, that would be fantastic and we can move this vote forward. Okay, if you would like, if you still haven't voted and you'd like to direct message or message us in the chat to let us know that you'll be abstaining from voting, please do so at this time. We do want to move this forward. So if you have chosen not to vote during this process, if you could confirm that by either unmuting and letting us know or typing that in the chat. Thank you. I do have the one withheld vote, but we are still missing a committee member. So at this time, if you will raise your hand if you voted already, if you'll please signal that you already voted by raising your hand, that way we can determine whom we need to help to vote. Still waiting on raised hands for voting. Please raise your hand if you have voted already.
Miss Dixon, it looks like Mr. Coleman is the only person who hasn't raised their hand.
Okay, if you'll hold, please. All righty. I've gotten in touch with Mr. Coleman. He was having some technical issues, but we've talked through that, and I believe he has been able to vote. Okay. All righty. So that's 11 of the 11 committee members have been accounted for. Back over to you, Ms. Burball.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to end the poll, share the results. Receiving 10% or 1 out of our 10 votes is Human Kinetics. And 90% or 9 out of 10 votes is the Goodhart Wilcox.
Thank you, Ms. Burball. Let's take a quick look at what's coming up in our instructional materials adoption process. Based on voting today, our district teams have voted to recommend Goodhart Wilcox as the choice for adoption. Because there are only two available choices, we will move just the Goodhart Wilcox forward, receiving the majority of votes for this particular instructional resource. This choice will be brought forward for school board consideration. In the event that this choice is not approved or available for purchase, we will revisit our adoption process and explore next steps based on Florida statute and district expectations. Later this week, we will post the final selection that was chosen today on our district webpage. Links to this information will also be provided on school web pages and by other means. This gives everyone a chance to see the final selection that will be submitted to the school board for adoption consideration. Access to the online material for Goodhart Wilcox will remain available on EdCredible, and print resources may be viewed at our offices at 3015 Lewis Speedway. A publicly noticed meeting will be held in January where our teams will share the choice with our school board. It's a chance for board members in the community to hear more about the material and gives parents and our public the opportunity to share their thoughts with their school board representatives prior to the formal vote. We expect the school board to vote on the submitted resources during their regularly scheduled meeting in January. Public comment will be available at that meeting also. If the resources are approved by our school board members, we will post the final list on the district and school websites. If the materials are approved by the school board, there is a required 30-day contestation period that will end on February 13th. If anyone wants to contest the adoption, they'll need to do so before this deadline, utilizing the form that's available on our website. If a contestation is filed, we'll schedule a hearing to review it shortly after the contestation period ends. Again, thank you to the Instructional Resources and Media Services team, that's IRMS, our curriculum leads, parents, and community members for participating in this adoption. We are grateful for your efforts and participation. This concludes our meeting. Have a great week.